welcome to another English through experience video. This is for GCSE, Edexcel, English language students looking at paper 1, section A. Sorry about the background noise, lots of building work going on, there's not a lot I can do about it, and given the comments on my channel and from speaking to my students, I kind of decided you'd prefer the video now than me waiting for the building work to be done. Anyway, so what we're doing now is looking at our third student's example. We're going to read it through, have a chat about it, you can make some notes as we go. And then I want you to try and give a mark this time, and then this time I will read you the examiner's comments again and tell you what they got. Alright then, so if you haven't watched the previous videos, it'll be good to go back so you can see me discuss the question and read the text. But if you have and you're happy to use the text in the description box below, let's just get going. So, lines 14 to 25, how does the writer use language and structure to show the narrator's feelings about Bertha? Support your views with reference to the text. Right. The narrator begins with a neutral and sane tone, describing the rosy colour of the liquid. Okay, positive so far, straight in. We haven't had any long rambling introduction that's very difficult to gain marks with. So we've gone straight in and we've got an example there. And then we get the second point. However, his thoughts then turn to Bertha. So it's almost getting structural there, but not quite, not enough to get a mark. But it's going in the right direction. Then we get metaphors are used throughout the extract. Brilliant. Hopefully we can get some proof. To display his feelings towards Bertha. Yeah, that's what they're doing. The first example is when he says, "Then my thoughts wandered, they visited the fountain." This quote suggests he had a positive outlook on love and implies his feelings for Bertha are loving. However, this sentence ends with never, suggesting he has not experienced this type of love and that what he described previously is not what he feels. Okay, so here we can see that the student understands there's complexity there. It might not be the clearest explanation, but that's what they're getting across. And all these texts are going to be some odd character who's going through something significant. So that sort of complication is going to be something that you'll probably be able to mention in your own response. Okay. The next sentence also uses a metaphor. Serpents and adders were in my heart. At this point in the paragraph, it begins to become clear that Bertha loves another man, our Albert, and the narrator is jealous of him. So yeah, I think that's fair comment. And then they go on to say, the metaphor demonstrates to the reader that the narrator is slowly losing his sanity. That's very nicely put, as it is extremely dramatic. Yeah, it is. Again, never is repeated, so that's another language comment, suggesting he believes he will never be loved by Bertha. The use of the capital letter and exclamation mark emphasises his point and emphasises the word. Okay, so they needed extra space. There are also repeated dashes through the extract, which makes the sentence extremely long and implies that the reader is expressing all his thoughts and feelings. Furthermore, it exaggerates any short sentences, as the reader immediately knows the significance of to be emphasised. An example is when the narrator says false girl, false and cruel, implying he feels he has been betrayed and lied to by Bertha. Okay, that's an interesting one. How do you think they got on? What mark would you give them? If you've got your assessment objectives to hand, I knew I shouldn't have bothered trying to look. No, here we go, I have got them. If you've got your assessment objectives to hand, have a little... Oh dear. Right. Well, you might have them to hand. I haven't got them to hand, apparently. I've only got literature. But if you grab hold of your English language assessment objectives, use them to try and give this student a mark. Okay? Right, hopefully you'll be pleased to know that they actually got 5. So they did pretty well, 5 out of the possible 6, even though it did seem a little bit confusing in parts, and they probably would have benefited from just trying to keep it simpler in terms of maybe PEE. Here's my point about language, here's my example of language, here I'm going to explain about language. Here's my second point about language, here's my example, here's me explaining this, perhaps this builds on my first point. Finally, now I'm going to do the same again with structure. So, pick my point, give my evidence, the example, and explain it. That might have been easier, but they still managed to get those 5 points. Let's have a look at what the actual examiner said. The answer offers a response to both language and structure, so that's good. They know that they'd be able to get the full marks. The early comment about use of metaphor is analytical and perceptive and is well supported from the text. The comment about the ending never shows that the candidate understands how the writer is presenting the reader with more complex feelings than at first may seem to be the case. The use of repetition as a structural device is clearly presented and supported, though structure is not as strong in this response as the language points which are made. It meets all the criteria for level 3 and shows an analytical ability and ability to select apt supporting reference, so appropriate supporting references. So to show you those quotes are really important, and like I said, I really encourage you to just keep it simple and think of it as 3 paragraphs, 1 paragraph for each of your examples. And you should very well be okay with that. If anybody's got any questions, please use the comment section below. Now we've moved on to question 3. It is more difficult, and it might be that I'm saying different things, slightly different things to what your teacher says, slightly different things to what your private tutor says, slightly different things to what other YouTubers say. So you do need to just be aware that people do have slightly different interpretations of these questions. You want to keep focused on the mark scheme and making sure you fulfill those assessment criteria, whatever the method that you feel is most appropriate for you. Alright then, I hope that little ramble at the end makes sense. Thanks as always for watching, really good luck. If you have a go at the question, please feel free to send me a copy and I can share it with everybody else using our Pinterest board. Alright then, thanks as always for watching, and hopefully I will see you again when we start to grapple with that horrible question 4. Bye for now.